Over the past few days, we have seen market turmoil reminiscent of March 2020. We have seen multiple sectors get absolutely pummeled as many investors' stop-loss orders come into effect and mass selling pulls down valuations. We saw tech sector-wide and cryptocurrencies get absolutely decimated today. I don't know about any of you, but my portfolio definitely took a substantial hit. As always, in my own investment strategy, I do the opposite of what the mass investors are doing and actually used the past few days and few weeks to add to a key few positions. I will have a full video highlighting my own portfolio and plays coming out in a few days. It's been quite some time since I've focused on that and a lot of you have been asking. I will also have a full in-depth video exclusively dedicated to NIO stock itself, what's happening to it in the short and long term, and where we can expect valuations. However, in this video, I wanted to get you all up to speed with some moves their business core is making currently and at what valuations I'm currently looking to buy additional shares at. We have a ton to get to in today's episode. Before we get it, Webull is giving out 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850 for free. All you have to do is use the link in my description. You do not want to sleep on this. Who doesn't like free stocks? You can trade before and after hours markets. This can be crucial. Early bird gets the worm. Let's jump right into it. So before we get to the bullish catalysts that could propel shares and some news coming out of their HQ, let's start off by taking a quick look at their share prices. NIO stock has been quite volatile the past 5 days, and like I thought it would be, has been jumping in between the 30 and 35 in sort of a yo-yo volatility pattern. We're sitting at 33.46 on the day. We had a nice recovery. It looked like it could get pretty bleak in the early morning, down 73 cents to 14%. As I've been saying for months now, this drop in share valuation is in no way, shape, or form NIO's own doing. The sell-off is much larger than the company itself, wrapped up in the macro markets and investor sentiment. Many of the tech stocks that surged throughout 2020 are now entering into intense consolidation. Now, clean energy, which gets mixed into the tech sector, is facing severe headwinds fronted by the powerhouse Tesla. Tesla's stock has been under intense pressure for a number of reasons, all leading to a steep loss in valuation. We can see how closely these two stocks mimic one another. However, I do believe this will increasingly divert in the next couple of months, and for a few reasons. Now, NIO has been cast in the shadow of Tesla and this market turmoil for months on end at this point. However, all the while, they have been making aggressive business moves that are, for the most part, going completely unnoticed. Now, I do think this round of market turmoil and ongoing correction will begin to pass, and I do think we are nearing the bottom. Many investors and analysts are going to once again catch up to NIO's moves and accordingly price in their future speculation, which I believe will push share prices up. I think a lot of investors in our current state of fast trading are too minutely focused on the day-to-day and week-to-week, even month-to-month fluctuations in share prices, and not concerned enough with the actual fundamentals of a business. Stocks are really bad at representing the current valuation of companies in the short term and really good at finding it long term. Zoom out, think of the big picture, the rest will typically take care of itself over time. Now for today's video, I want to forget the share price and focus on some huge news emerging from the company's headquarters. So as you may be aware, in conjunction with the semiconductor shortage, NIO has pivoted and is focusing on building up their infrastructure web in mainland China and Norway. They have signed a string of deals, really expanding their brand equity and partnerships, and now we have seen yet another instance of this. The company just signed a long-term strategic cooperative deal with China's leading tourism group, and I have a couple of thoughts here right off the top. We see NIO moving into the lifestyle aspect of their business operations. This aspect is rapidly increasing in revenue and leading institutional investors of NIO, like Baillie Gifford, valuing NIO Life bringing in billions to their bottom line. This is another instance of the company forming strong connections with other leading brands within China. They signed with Fosun Tourism Group, where the two companies will begin a long-term cooperation in areas of tourism product services, vehicle procurement, and new energy system construction. This will essentially relate to the two companies teaming up in charging, battery swapping infrastructure development to ultimately create, according to NIO, a quote, more convenient than refueling, unquote, charging experience. We know that NIO is aggressively expanding their charging infrastructure, attempting on having 500 swap stations live by the end of the year. And by partnering with huge brands like Fosun, Red Star Machline, and Sinopec, they are becoming a household name and synonymous with quality and luxury products. NIO has stated that they are striving to partner with around 100 third-party companies, and I am extremely bullish on this aggressive expansion. With the Chinese government holding stake within the company just under 10%, they also have incentive on pushing and promoting this brand. I think we're likely going to see the power of the government increasing over the next quarters. Now, we have also seen Chongqing, a Chinese city, announce they will subsidize $78,000 off of each battery swap station built within the region. Now, there is some speculation as to whether NIO will be eligible for this, and it is looking like they will be. We'll have more info coming in the next few days. However, either way, this shows a massive step forward for the battery swapping model itself and wide-scale adoption. We now see Chinese cities now seeing financial incentive in bringing battery swapping stations to their cities. If approved for NIO, they can further increase their already extremely impressive margins, and in turn, cities can attract additional EVs, companies, and create jobs. NIO is currently the only manufacturer producing battery swap stations on a mass scale, and I do think in the future years we could see the majority of the revenue actually coming from their energy arm. However, this is still speculation at this point in time. Their current swapping station model 2.0 costs around $1.5 million to install, which is about half of the first gen, and with the subsidy can be even further reduced. Now, moving to the share prices and institutional money flowing back into the stock. As NIO's share price continues to dip, institutional investors who had cut their positions late 2020 are now re-entering the stock at these much more attractive valuations. We see a few huge names buying up massive quantities of NIO shares. Hillhouse Capital, one of the most well-known asset managers in China, recently bought just under $5 million in NIO stock, and interestingly bought $24 million in competitor Xpeng, a company I'll have a run-through of this weekend. We also see Bank of New York Mellon entering NIO stock, purchasing an additional 508,000 shares. And there is also increased chatter as of late that Cathie Wood's team could be entering the stock. This would likely surge valuations. We also had some fun news coming out of NIO's JAC Motors joint partnership manufacturing plant. Their first ET7 validation build officially rolled off the line just under a week ago. This is always an important step in the production process, and this vehicle is one of the main reasons I am so bullish on this company's future. I do think Q1 of 2022 is going to be absolutely massive for NIO and their shares, and I frankly cannot wait. I do think we are beginning to see the bottom of the continued correction. The market is extremely shaky and currently too volatile for me, so I am simply holding for the short term. However, if we do see shares dip below 30 within the next few weeks, I will indeed be increasing my position. But until then, I am strictly holding. Anyways, everyone, lots of fun developments. Like I said, I will have a full share breakdown and where I think their shares will ultimately reach in the coming quarters, coming in a few days, so make sure you subscribe. Don't forget about the Webull promo, 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850 for free. You can trade before and after hours markets. They are 0% commission. This really is a win-win. You do not want to sleep on it. Anyways, see you all in the next video. Take care. Happy trading. Cheers.